All right, boys. I have done a little bit of an experiment for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. As you guys know, while we were waiting for some new content to drop down into Master Duel, we were doing a lot of Duel Links content over on the Twitch stream and even on this channel. Obviously, there was the new box, new Fluffles, DDD, all that stuff came out. And while I had the game on my Steam and it was still fresh, I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment, and it led to the question of, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links worth playing in May 2022? As we all know, at the beginning of this year, Master Duel came out, and it really, really, really shamed Duel Links and all the stuff that it had been doing for the past couple years, and just flat out made it not worth a game, playing anymore. So I wanted to run a little experiment and kind of answer the question, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links worth playing right now? As you guys know, I made another video about this where they were slowly improving the game, increasing how many gems are available for free-to-play players, giving the selection box. The selection box that we just had was complete dog shit. There's no reason to actually go into it other than like bottomless trap hole, which is nice, but not a required back row, just like how Book of Moon was heavily required, just like Fiendish Chain was heavily required. If you did not own these good staple cards, you simply could not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links at that competitive level. And even sometimes just hit King of Games was so much harder because you did not own these cards. So that's kind of, those have all been positive things. The anime skills have been really nice. They're moving away from return one card from your hand and then add a card from your deck. They're having more unique abilities be included. There's the, for example, favorite duel is now in the game for heroes, so you can actually summon Elemental Hero Flame Wingman and actually win games with him enough to top tournaments like that. That is something that you could not do in Duel Links before, and it gives kind of, I mean, come on, who's winning with Elemental Hero Flame Wingman in a normal Yu-Gi-Oh game? Nowhere. You can't do that anywhere but in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I think that is super cool when it comes to Duel Links and its identity. And you may notice I'm talking about a lot about the positives about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I will definitely get into the negatives as well. There's a lot of people out there that don't like it when I talk, critical about either game or any of the games on the channel. But this is a review, and I want to keep it fair. So anything that's positive, I'll bring up the positive. Anything that's negative, I'll bring up the negative, and I'll give my true, honest opinion at the end. Completely void of bias or anything like that, in terms if I really think you should be playing this game in 2022. So the experiment that I ran is actually quite simple. I logged into my account that I've had for many years, spent thousands of dollars on building up, and just kind of experienced how how it felt to just be a returning player. How hard would it be to get back into the metagame? How good are my cards that I invested in, super long ago, etc., etc., etc. I also made a brand new account, got all my dream tickets and everything on it, maybe played 3 or 4 days total on it. I know I got my SR dream ticket, so I think it was around 4 days, and I attempted to build one of the new decks and see how far I could get with it and just kind of where we are with the game. I want to talk about my returning account first. The account you see on your screen is the new account, but I want to talk about my experience returning to the game. Now, first and foremost, first thing I got hit with is the pop-ups, and we got to talk about it, man. Duel Links needs to seriously move away from those generic gacha things that kind of make the game feel like a cheap product when it really isn't, right? Duel Links probably takes more money to create content for than most Yu-Gi-Oh products, though, from the voice lines to the creature animation. The voice lines alone probably make it way more expensive than any Yu-Gi-Oh product takes to actually come out, right? That alone is probably more than anything. And it really sucks when you log in and you haven't been on for a while. Even when I came to record this video, you have to sit through pop-ups that you sometimes can't skip. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And it could take a significant amount of time, almost up to 2 minutes before you actually get in there and start playing after patching your game. So right off the bat, I really wish that they would get away from things like that. Things like, popping up whenever a new box comes up. There's a huge pop-up, the Duelist Pass not really being a real Duelist Pass. I would love some infrastructure updates to the game, but that's a minor nitpick. We're not going to stick too long on it. Just please remove the pop-ups. They're super annoying to deal with. Next thing is, I looked at how many gems I could potentially get for being a returning player, and it's a surprisingly high number of gems that you can get now. Events are giving up more gems. The rank system is still the same. You still get the same amount of gems. Things like Tour Guide basically coming out for free. Tour Guide, there was a new bundle that came out where you got like 15 packs and Tour Guide, I think for like 750 gems or something, which ultimately made Tour Guide only cost like 100 gems or something. I think that's super cool. I think that whenever you have very powerful cards that are immediately hit on limit 1, I think that's an insanely good idea. I actually said this before, where I think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links ban list is extremely smart and an extremely cool way to approach the game. And I think that is really neat. I think that's super, super neat, actually, for anyone that wants to play more powerful strategies, but in a more limited capacity without completely overwhelming the game. Having those limited bundles, kind of like how we have in Master Duel. The game can learn a lot from Master Duel, right? And it's slowly implementing some of those things. Hopefully crafting will be coming soon. We'll get into all that later in the video. But yeah, having that bundle for that card was super awesome. The boxes have been really good too. DDD from the new box is really good. I have DDD already on my account because I bought it, when the structure deck came out and all that in the past. So, my account's already been set up, and they're supporting these archetypes that have had previous support, and I can, invest just gems and make a new DDD deck. I can go, get whatever deck I need to get. That a lot of my cards that I invested in the past have more holding power right now. Book of Moon, even things like Canadia are coming back, which is crazy. Floodgate, Trap Hole, Cosmic MST, these are all staples that are still the same staples as they were back then. My account has a lot of good value for the game. Now, with all those good additions that we've had in the last couple months, let's talk about the overall game, from a new player perspective. I made a brand new account and I wanted to play one of the newer decks. I chose Metal Foes for that. And this is as far as I got with Metal Foes before I just had to be like, all right, I'm done. I can't make any more. Now you might say, okay, well, Metal Foes is one of the more expensive options, Rye. Why didn't you pick something a little cheaper? Because this meta is extremely, extremely expensive if you just want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links starting from complete scratch. With the nerf of Harpies, there aren't really that many good high-powered, low-cost decks in the game right now. The best you're probably going to get is Phantom Knight, and Phantom Knight is not only locked to Yugioh, so you have to farm Yugioh, which I think he's coming very, very soon. But even then, he's still going to leave. And on top of that, the only time to have obtained Yugioh is before Phantom Knight got nerfed, and they're already nerfed, which just makes them worse, right? The best decks being decks like DDD, being Odd Eyes, being Burning Abyss. These are all significantly more expensive decks, and the amount of playtime I put into this account, like this deck is okay. I could probably hit King of Games with this deck specifically, but the amount of I actually want to show you. I'm going to go to the duel trials here. I did all the duel quizzes and everything. Look at this. Duel quiz 1, whatever, that's easy. Duel quiz 1, we finished all those. Duel quiz 2, oh my lordy, look at this. Holy crap, every single one except the newest one that came out I've completed in Duel quiz 2. Duel quiz 3, holy crap, went through like half of Duel quiz 3. Before I was finally like, all right, I can't do any more duel quizzes. I need to start PvPing. And this is something that I actually said a lot in my old Rise to Cog videos, if you guys remember me doing those. The hardest part of getting a account to King of Games is not the PvP. It's not facing the people. It's sitting there and grinding the auto duels, the duel quizzes, the all that stuff, generating enough resource so I can have a deck that can hit that King of Games level. And I gotta tell you, man, the new player experience in this game is really, really terrible. Not to mention, you know, there's still the reboot errors and everything. Yes, there's the retry button, and you just click the retry button and you're back in. They are still very consistent in the game, and sometimes I have to hit retry multiple times just for the game to get in there. It really is only saving you just a little bit of time over just rebooting the game and getting back in. So in terms of a new player coming back to the game, it is a rough time to try and get into the game. There's no cheap good deck. And I know what people are going to type. I already know what they are. Rye, you could buy, you know, Luna Lights. You could buy Blue Eyes. I hit King of Games with, you know, insert meme deck here. And I understand you guys. I know where you're coming from. Yes, you can hit King of Games with any deck in the game. I can go in and spend half the time I spent on this and buy 6 Samurai, Noble Knight, Vindred, and hit myself to King of Games. But the thing is, you have to remember, I'm looking from the perspective of a new player, and a new player should and probably will go for the best decks, right? And the best decks are the easiest decks for them to learn and play and have the most optimal value out of. And those decks are extremely difficult right now for anyone to get. You know, hopefully things like fluffles and stuff like that eventually become good and it becomes cheap and it's easier. Ideally, the best thing to do, add a crafting system, man. Like, without a crafting system, this game just simply will never compete with something like Master Duel. If you're new to Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just better to play Master Duel and just learn the hard way rather than to go through Duel Links, spend a whole lot of money, and then go play Master Duel. It really isn't the way. But yeah, that's pretty much what I had to kind of wrap it up and answer the original question. Is it worth coming back to Duel Links? Is it worth playing Duel Links? If you were an existing player, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is worth your time if Master Duel has downtime. So we didn't have an update for Master Duel for like almost 4 months. In that meantime, if you play Duel Links, you were fine. There's nothing really to miss in Master Duel. You log in for like a week to do the events, and then you log off and go play Duel Links. It's actually quite simple. I think it's a game right now where it's got good ideas. I love the Limit 1 system. I love the ban list system. I love how they're giving us powerful cards like Monster Reborn, Full Metal Fusion, and of course the tour guide. I really like how they're doing that. I think that's super cool, and I think if you're a returning player with established count, you're good to go. If you're a brand new player and you've never played Duel Links before and you're looking to expand into other Yu-Gi-Oh games, do not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It is not worth your time. It is way too hard to get into, way too hard to start getting into the fun of it. This game is supposed to be more for the anime nostalgia bait, if you will, but there is no current anime that's airing, so I don't think any of those players are being attracted, like brand new Yu-Gi-Oh fans from anime is being attracted. Probably just older fans from the other series. We'll see if that ever changes in the future. So, short answer, no. Long answer, only if you have an existing account, come back and play. But do not play if you're a brand new player completely. That is my honest take on it. You guys can share down in the comments below what you would like to see. Me personally, if I see a crafting system, the moment I see a crafting system, easy, I will start saying this game is worth playing. I think this game, you know, it's improving. The small improvements are great, and I'll say they're great. They have nothing bad to say about them, but it is not enough. Not enough. It needs to be more. That's it for me. Till next time, boys. Take it easy.